You know, the National Monument is a really interesting, it's an interesting event in the progression of the North Coast. There's a lot of large landowners that have been generationally keeping care of a lot of that land up there. There's a lot of longtime families who have preserved those areas by just holding on to the land and their families. And then there's a lot of state park land. And Coast Dairies was a really important purchase 20 years ago when it was purchased for protection. And it's you know, one of the puzzle pieces in really trying to maintain a preserved North Coast. And that's, you know, an area both for people, for human use, but also for wildlife and for wildlife corridors and for preserving our water supply streams. And there's a lot of importance in that area in terms of what the North Coast signifies.
I think the biggest proponent in terms of like the anti-camp is just desire to keep this area kind of as quiet as possible. I don't think that's something that's really realistic in just in the way the world works. We already have massive tourist buses that come up and down and things like that. So this place is definitely going to be becoming more and more popular, you know, as time passes on. It's a really beautiful place and you can't blame people for wanting to come here. If there would be more patrols and more resources to the, you know, designated to the land with the designation, I'm all for it. There's a lot of problems with you know, trash and, you know, things like that up here because it's unincorporated land and the sheriffs their resources are stretched really thin. But right now it just seems like a paper designation without like an influx of resources to help support.
Being a park employee, I know we are extremely short-staffed. I mean, if it's going to be as big as they say, it's going to ruin Davenport.
As it is, without a monument, there's a lot of people already created here, you know. Imagine when there's going to be another maybe 10, 15 million every year passing by. You're going to see up there. It's going to be a lot more people, that's for sure. And maybe a lot of drunks, you know, a lot of druggies. Definitely a lot more accidents. That's for sure. Because we have a accident a day over here. And just a couple hours ago, there was a big old accident down the road, 3 miles down. Who knows what's the outcome of it, you know? I'm not for it, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I mean, yes, it is gonna help my business.
I think that there will be increased use, there'll be more traffic, and so on, so people need to be responsible. You know, and the more people can be educated, I think people will take care of it. Out of every 100 people, there's not that many that don't care. The majority of people will take responsibility, I think.